Historic buildings across Glasgow have repeatedly caught fire over the past 2 decades, raising concerns that the city's Victorian heritage could slowly disappear. The latest casualty is a beloved domed landmark on Union Street, near Glasgow's bustling central station. Last weekend, a devastating fire tore through the building, leaving behind a skeleton of its former self. Demolition crews moved in shortly after, erasing what had been a familiar landmark for generations of Glaswegians. For many who live and work in this city, it is a painfully familiar sight. This is not an isolated incident. It is part of a tragic pattern. The world-renowned Glasgow School of Art, a masterpiece by the celebrated architect Charles Rennie Mackintosh, was gutted by fire not once, but twice, in 2014 and again in 2018. That second blaze also consumed the neighboring O2 ABC music venue, a cultural institution that had existed in various forms since the late 19th century. Other historic sites have also been lost. Victoria's nightclub on Sauchiehall Street, the Albert Cross tenements in Pollokshields, and India buildings on Bridge Street, demolished in 2024 after decades of structural decay. So why do Glasgow's historic buildings keep catching fire? Experts point not to a single villain, but to a slow-burning crisis of neglect. Many of these grand Victorian structures stand vacant. As businesses migrate to modern office developments, the upper floors of these old buildings are left empty, falling into disrepair. Ownership can be deeply complex. Some properties are held by distant investment firms, others pass through networks of landlords and management companies, making accountability nearly impossible to enforce. These empty shells, with their aging electrical systems and timber-framed interiors, become tinderboxes waiting for a spark. Heritage organizations have repeatedly warned that Glasgow has one of the highest concentrations of endangered historic buildings in all of Scotland. Many Victorian structures were designed with stone-clad exteriors but timber interiors, a construction style that allows fire to spread with devastating speed once ignited. For the people of Glasgow, these are not just bricks and mortar. They are keepers of memory, culture, and identity. Each fire erases a piece of the city's soul. Artists who painted them, residents who walked past them every day, they feel a deeply personal loss. These buildings are a physical link to Glasgow's past, connecting modern residents with generations who lived and worked here before them. While city authorities report that around £280 million has been invested in heritage initiatives over the past decade, many experts argue that far stronger measures are still needed. Calls are growing for tougher enforcement against neglected properties, taxes on long-term vacant buildings, and compulsory purchase orders for abandoned sites. The Egyptian Halls, a historic building that has stood covered in scaffolding for more than a decade, has become a symbol of this crisis, and the council has now begun legal steps to take control of it. The question remains, will Glasgow act decisively enough to protect its architectural treasures, or will the city's skyline continue to be reshaped by fire, one historic building at a time? The fight to preserve Glasgow's heritage is, ultimately, a fight for the city's very identity, and for the irreplaceable memories held within its stones.